What's up YouTube, Psychotixz here, going to bring you a ninja deck profile today. This is 45 cards I believe, so if you're strictly 40, move on, but otherwise I'd say give this a shot because I've been finding that 40 cards plus have been pretty consistent in decks that can especially deck thin a lot. And I would say you can pretty much search through most of your deck pretty quickly, but I'll explain that as we go through right now. So we'll start with 3 Hanzos. He searches your trap, which also searches a monster and summons it from the deck. So that's a 2 right there, and then when you have Rhoda and you search this, that's a deck thin by 3. So essentially you just cut out one monster, or you cut out 2 monsters and a trap. That would be a dead draw if you drew it on later on. So yeah, it just kind of prohibits dead draws, or at least makes it less inclined for you to dead draw. And then 1 Ebisu, just because he can bounce spells, traps, it's pretty decent. Of course you gotta have another ninja on the field, that's the only condition that kind of sucks. Then 1 Upstart Golden, he summons one from the deck, or another ninja, so usually you summon Hanzo or Ebisu so you can bounce stuff. You just have to discard a trap, and we run a fair amount, so pretty easy to get his effect off, and I guess if you really need to, you can just sit on him with 18. He's also a light target, so that's pretty good for Blacklister Soldier. Then we got 3 Mermelio. It's like pseudo Hanzo, I guess. Just when normal summon, search Bottomless or Trapple Nightmare. And then we run Call the Haunted, so you can use it as an MST on your opponent's end phase. And then we have 2 Dianaeus, it's running triple Mermelio. This gives us pretty consistent rank 4 plays. And if you really need to, you can bring her back to bring back Bottomless. So that's okay, I guess. And then for boss monsters, we have Dark Simorgh and Blacklister Soldier. Dark Simorgh basically wins you games on his own, since your opponent cannot set cards on the field at all. This includes spells and traps and monsters. So you can kind of see how that's good against Stalls or Stellars or Burning Abyss, anything that sets any one of those things. And I don't think there's a deck out there that doesn't set either one way or another. So yeah, no setting monsters and shells, no setting spells and traps. That's pretty good with a 2700 body, and you get to use your own back row. Oh yes, also you can summon this from your hand. Oops. You can summon this from your hand by banishing a dark and a wind. So that's 2 targets right there, since Ebisu is a wind and Hanzo is a dark. But you can also summon it with Castel in your extra deck, which you go through at least 1 every game. Usually I go through 1 if I really need to. And then 1 VLS, since it's a stupid card, and why not? Because it's pretty easy to summon. And then we got 2 calls. We're going to start off our traps because this is a ninja deck. You can call back Dark Simorgh. If you call back Dark Simorgh, you basically win, because they expend at least 1 or 2 cards just to get rid of him, and they'll have to use even more just to bring out this, or destroy it once it hits the field again. So that's pretty little cheeky move right there. And then we got 2 transformations. This searches Traptrix, Mermelio, and Dark Simorgh. So what I like to do usually is first turn Dark Simorgh if I can. Like about 75% of the time I can first turn Dark Simorgh because of triple Rhoda and duality and stuff like that. But yeah, just summon Dark Simorgh, and then if you have another one of these, just summon Mermelio and just get a free MST pop if they get rid of Dark Simorgh. And then we run 2 wiretaps because I need something to wiretap a wiretap, essentially. Because when they wiretap your ninjutsu arts, not only do you nag by getting your Hanzo sent to the graveyard, but you also nag by potentially dead drawing this. And that's pretty bad when you dead draw it. So we kind of need this. And then we got 2D prisons. It's pretty good, just when you have Dark Morgue, it's kind of dead because no one's gonna ever attack Dark Morgue because it's basically almost impossible to get over with a level 4 monster or single level 4 monster because I don't know. The only way I can see like Satellar Knights getting over it on their first turn is if they Vega, and think about it like this. If they have to Vega first turn, that means they just expended a Vega they could use later, because usually people only use one. So that's pretty good, and then you have your traps to use so they can't Alpha Nova and stuff like that. And they can't set the trap, so you basically win. And we got 2 trap holes. We have Traptrix trap hole and Bottomless. You could run Time Space trap hole, probably 2 of them, because I do run. What else is in here? I am running the Blackthorn of Heaven, which I haven't showed. So yeah, you could technically just use those. You just side out, or not side out, but you could take out these 2 and add in 2 Time Space, and you can just keep the Bottomless. But I like Blackhorn, even though it's not searchable. But I would probably play the Time Space if I had 2 or 1. Next, we're running 3 Fiendish. You can run 2 if you want. I just like running 3 because I kind of need it. You could also run Breakthrough Skill. It's just all preference. And then for 3 1-ofs, we're playing these 3. We can play Torrential since the only monster we kind of care about that dies is Dark Morgue and BLS. But if you have Call the Haunted, it's pretty much safe to Torrential. So yeah, no regrets on that. Solemn Warning, of course, and Compulse. So you could even compulse your own monsters if you needed to. Like if they Karma Cut or something. One Ninjutsu armor. I like it better than Magic Planner since you can search it. And a lot of the times the card that's basically clogging up your back row is the transformation, and the reason for that is if they get rid of the monster that's summoned with it, that card doesn't leave the field, so it can be kind of annoying, but you know, you just get rid of 2 cards, draw 2, you'll basically just draw 2 traps and fill up those spaces. And then we got triple MST, because we need to make sure our plays go off, essentially, and we cannot let Vanity's Emptiness get in our way. Then in one book, we can use this basically to beat over anything or stop Exceed summons and stuff. Just protect Dark Morgue deck. One Raigeki, because Raigeki is a free, just like mass destruction card. I don't see why anyone wouldn't run it. Yes, there are a lot of floaters, but the only deck that's technically dead against is Yang Zing's. So yeah, I would definitely run this. I don't see why a lot of people don't. And then one Dichotomy, since we can get our resources back and we actually use them up pretty quickly if we open decently. And if we open well, we'll go through them very fast. So you just recycle your stuff back, draw 2, recycle your Melios and Dianeas, and Hanzos, or Dark Morgue if he's in the grave. So 3 upstarts for deck thinning. Even though this card or deck exceeds 40, I still like having the upstart in there just in case. I don't know, it just feels like it's just like some psychological thing. I always feel like this card helps me out, so. And then we're running Triple Duality, since we mostly special summon during our opponent's turn. The only time you would summon during your turn is if you Dianea, or for some reason you call the Haunted back, like you need to go to a rank 4 and you ended up drawing one, so... Or you ended up drawing a level 4, so yeah. That's pretty much it. And then, for last, but not least, the best card in the deck. Triple Rhoda. Since this went to 3, this deck's been pretty much consistent, and why... The only reason why I pretty much run more than 40 cards, since these cards on their own net you at least one more card. So the meaning behind that is, if you use these cards, of course you get another card, but Rhoda can potentially give you 2 cards. And Hanzo searches, and Vermelio searches, and technically Upstart can search too. So, out of these cards, all of them pretty much deck thin or search or draw. And that's a pretty good amount of cards. So, yep, these are all the cards that deck thin. This summons from the deck, this summons from the deck. This searches trap. Searches your trap and a monster, essentially, if you get the traps effect off. Gives you another card in return. Use this basically to search your trap, and use this to search your monster, which searches your trap, which searches a monster, so you can kind of see how it goes from there. And that's basically the whole theory behind it, and you would just use the rank force to technically respond to your opponent's field. I guess kind of like similar way that Psychotixz do, except Dark Samorg is a clutch win condition. I don't know how many times I said win condition in this video, but I can't understate how big of a threat it is. So anyway, the extra deck we have 1 Deltaros. It's pretty easy to go into, since of course you have, well, in certain situations it's easy to go through. You pretty much have to Dianea, and you can just call the Haunted or something. So that's 3, and then 1 Rhapsody, since he's kind of like a secondary choice, I should say. You kind of don't want to go into him, since not, like, if I was running Soul Charge, it'd be way easier going him, but I'm not running it. I don't know, I just feel like sometimes if you don't open up well, you take a decent amount of damage, so Soul Charge will be dead. And pretty much your normal summons are pretty meaningful in this deck, and you don't want to waste it on a card like that to XC someone into. And then we got 1 Heartland Draco for the poke, 1 Diamond Dyer to get rid of Peskies, 1 Crazy Box for skill drain, 1 Ragna Zero for Fire Fist, Medolches, etc. 1 Exton for, I guess you'll usually have a good amount of back row, but it helps you get rid of your own if you're basically in a bad position. And then Abyss Dweller. And then 1 Castel, you can run another one or a 101. I just don't have another one of these or a 101. But I would definitely probably bump this up to 2 in this deck, especially. And then 1 Carnagorgon, like one of my favorite cards in the extra deck. I don't know, just beats everything. It's good against everything. A lot of cards target. And then 1 Black Ship, 1 Cowboy, and then for our warriors, we have Blade Armor and Excalibur, which is pretty good. Excalibur, a lot of cards don't exceed this high attack, so yeah, you just get over Leo or something, and then this helps you just like win faster, I guess. If your opponent is just dead drawing or and such like that, just that's 4,000 a turn, 4,400 from direct attacks, and you'll win in 2 turns. Yep, so that's it, guys. If you guys like some more tips and combos and such, you know, I can try to make a video for it. If you want to see some duels, I can do that too. Just let me know. Just remember to like and subscribe. Thanks.